Hello and welcome to another long overdue episode of The Nice Knit. My name is Laramie, and if you're new here, this is a knitting podcast where we talk about knitting, and it's nice. It has been a hot minute since I recorded any kind of YouTube video or podcast episode, mainly because I have not been doing any knitting. I naturally find my knitting decreasing in the summer months. I am more of a winter knitter because I'm inside more. In the summer, I have summers off because I'm a full-time teacher at a university. So I, during the summer, spend 90% of my time outside. That is not an accurate stat, but just roll with it. If you are my stat student, forgive me. But because I'm outside so much, I don't necessarily knit, and then I'm exhausted. So when I come inside, I usually just lay on the couch and watch a movie or something. I don't really even feel like picking up my knitting because I'm so tired. I just spend so much time outside. So I really haven't had a lot of knitting progress to show you, and all of May was absolute chaos. So what I'm going to do for today's podcast episode or video or whatever the heck you want to call it is just to kind of give you an update on where I've been, show you some very minor progress I've made on some projects really in the last couple of weeks, and then talk about some goals that I have for the summer, and then hopefully this will get me back into the routine again of making videos, which will help me make more. Next week is, I believe it's the 14th, should be a Saturday, is Worldwide Knit in Public Day or National Knit in Public Day, or I'll put the actual title on the screen here. But I am going to post a video for that talking about all the different places that I have knitted. And then, maybe I'll go somewhere and knit in public. We'll see how crazy I get. But I'm just trying to get myself back into the routine, get you caught up. If this is not something that interests you, if you're really just here for the knitting and the projects, this may not be the video for you, but I have at least a few in the backlog, so feel free to go watch those instead. But I hope you stick around for future videos. So we're just gonna dive in. We're gonna start by talking about where I've been and some of my goals for the summer, and then I'll update you on a few projects that you've seen before, I have made some progress on, and then one project that is very similar to the others, but I have started a new project. But it's not anything super exciting because I have two others of the exact same thing also on the needles. So for starters, where have I been? Oh. May is really when I stopped posting YouTube videos, and that's primarily because it was finals. So the first week of May or the first or second week of May is what we call prep week, where students are just getting ready for finals. Teachers are prepping for finals as well. And then the week after is finals week, and the week after that is when all of our grading is due. And so in the first 2 or 3 weeks of May, I was swamped between hundreds of emails from students and, trying to get everything ready for the fall semester, everything ready for summer because I'm away from the office most of the time in the summer. So there's things I have to prep. There's also writing tests, grading papers and exams. And so those first few weeks, I was just exhausted, and I decided that I wouldn't post any YouTube videos during that time just because I did not have the brain capacity. Also, because I was so tired and I was working really late, I really wasn't doing any knitting during this time. I was focusing all of my energy on finals and my students. Well, then fast forward to the next couple weeks of May, or basically the last couple weeks from now. My sister had a baby. I traveled a lot. 2 of my best friends got married, and I just ended up this past week sleeping pretty much the whole week just to get caught up on my rest from the chaos. I'm a huge introvert, and so if I get too much stimulation outside of my house, basically, with a lot of people, I get peopled out. And so last week I was incredibly peopled out. So I saw my neighbor a couple of times. I talked to my parents on the phone maybe once or twice, and I rode my horse. And that is all I did other than sleep because I was so exhausted. But while I was doing that, I did some knitting. So I do have some things to update you. But basically, the entire month of May, I barely picked up a project. And I've really just started to knit again. And I'm not really in what you would call a knitting slump. I'm not feeling like I don't want to knit. It's more that I just am so exhausted that in favor of knitting, I am doing other kinds of resting. And then when I do feel good, I want to be outside. you may hear Theo growling. I think the neighbors are walking their dogs, so there might be some cuts in this video as I cut out Theo barking at the neighbors. But, you know, he's living his best life. He's on what I call his throne, protecting the kingdom. All right, moving forward, I am hoping to get back into my weekly or at least bi-weekly schedule, or like every other week schedule of posting a YouTube video, because I do really enjoy this. I enjoy building this community, and I've really missed it in the last month. And so this is kind of my promise to you and to myself that I'm gonna start posting regularly again. That may only mean one episode every couple of weeks, but it does mean regular. So I'm gonna work on it. I really like a once a week video schedule, but I'm gonna give myself a little grace since summer is a little bit chaotic. But all that to say, I have very little knitting to show you, but I'm gonna show you just a few things. So I don't even know if the Joann's in my town has officially closed yet, but I went to Joann's for the very last time and picked up some yarn on the 60% off sale, and I also got this laundry basket. And I'm very excited about this laundry basket because I specifically got it to hold all of my works in progress. And I apologize if I'm hitting my mic when I'm doing this, but this is my works in progress bag. So this is my WIPs basket. So this is holding all of my WIPs except for my blanket, just because that sucker is huge and would take up like half of this. But this is all my current WIPs. Most of these have not been touched in months. So we're just gonna go over the few that have been touched, and I did not, in full disclosure, pre-prep for this. So I will quickly look through these bags to figure out what I have actually worked on. I think these are socks. Yeah, those are socks. Haven't worked on socks. Remember when I wanted to do one pair of socks a month? Yeah, she's funny. Past Laramie, she was ambitious. All right, so this is, I believe, just an improvised raglan t-shirt that I'm working on. I did a wide neckline, short row shaping, nothing really fancy here. But I just split for the sleeves. So this is 100% cotton. This is the Knit and Crochet Essential cotton that I also picked up on one of the Joann's closing out sales. But this is it. I've got my t-shirt a little farther. If you saw it before, I was still working fully on the yoke, but I do have, you know, about one row on the body now that I've split for the sleeves. And I did purchase some of that barber cord to just see if I like it. Oh my goodness. At least with the 4mm or 5mm knitting needles, it worked really well. Like, I just slid this on the end of here and I pushed it pretty tight so that it would not just like pull off. And I was able to pull it through, and I actually had to like use my nail to get it off. So if you're thinking about getting barber cord, I think it's worth a try. I enjoyed the process of putting it on there so much more than taking the tapestry needle through with yarn. And in theory, I can just untie this or cut this knot off, stick the needle back through the end, and just pull it through when it's time to knit the sleeve. So I'm really excited. This is gonna be a t-shirt, so I probably will either just bind off here immediately, or I will take the, I may do like a 1x1 rib for just like a 1/2 inch or something, if I want to add like a little bit more structure. But I'm gonna see what it looks like once I get the body knitted, and then I will decide how I want to do the sleeves. But that's what I've got so far. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So you're looking at the front, I'm looking at the back. But yeah, so that is my, I think I named these, but it's been so long I don't even remember what I'm calling them. But yeah, improvised t-shirt. Probably maybe added an inch to it, maybe, and split for the sleeve. So progress, but very slow progress. Definitely not done by the time it's warm out, because it is officially warm out. Next thing is baby sweater, and this is in no particular order, by the way. This is the baby sweater for my sister who just had a little boy. So this is his sweater. His name is Owen. So Owen has a teeny tiny sweater. This, I think I knitted this in the 2 to 3 year size, or the 1 to 2 year size. And this is a petite knit pattern. And I will list it down below if you're interested in this pattern. But think it's the Petite Knit Monday sweater. That's what it is. So I probably won't list it below. Just look up Petite Knit Monday sweater junior. And that's what this is. So it's just a little raglan sweater. It does have short row shaping, or like the German short rows in the back. It's going to be long sleeved. And this is Owen's little sweater to be finished eventually. Really just need to have this done by the time it's warm-ish out. And it'll probably be a while before he actually fits into it because he's tiny. You know, fresh baby, like maybe 2 weeks old now. I think he's 2 weeks old now. Fresh baby. All right, so that's Owen's little sweater. And then we have, so my boss is having her first grandbaby. She thinks the name Rosie would be really cute because of what her last name is. She has not told the mother or the father of the to-be baby that, because she doesn't want to influence their naming. But our little inside joke is this is Rosie's little sweater. So little Rosie will have a little sweater. This is the new cast on. This is one you have not seen. I told you no particular order for this episode. This is just me trying to get back into filming. But it's the exact same pattern as the last sweater. It'll also be the same pattern as Natalie's sweater, which is my niece. But yeah, so this is what it's gonna look like. I am knitting it with it's either Plymouth or Plymouth Dream DK acrylic and nylon yarn. And it is, I don't know what the actual colorway is called because they don't put it on the package, but it's like this cream with yellow, purple, and pink spots in it. And so it's really cute. But this will be for Miss Rosie, or whatever her name ends up being when she is born. But I'm going to have that hopefully by the end of this month so I can give it to my boss so that she can give it to her son and daughter-in-law. So very excited about that. And baby sweaters knit up so quickly. We've also got Natalie's sweater, which this is probably the one that I've made the most noticeable progress on. I got a sleeve done. So I think last time you saw this, I may have I don't know if I had binded off yet. I think I was here. I did end up binding off, and I figured out how to do the Italian bind off, and I actually found a video that made it super helpful. Maybe I've told you this before. I apologize if I have. And then I went and knit one sleeve and bound off, and I'm a little worried that the sleeve is going to be too short. But to be honest, I don't understand children's proportions in clothing. And so worst case scenario, I rip this back and knit it longer if needed. But for now, I'm just gonna knit the other one, and I've got about 1/2 inch done. And then we'll be done. This will be Natalie's sweater. Her birthday is the end of this month, and so I'm hoping to get this to her for her birthday, even though she probably will hate wearing it because it's a sweater, and her birthday's in June, so she's not gonna wear it anytime soon. But I did knit it in a 3 to 4 year size, and she's just now turning 3. So she should be able to wear this winter and maybe even next winter. Maybe I knit it in a 4 to 5. I don't know. I do this thing where I start a pattern in one size and then I like change my mind and knit it larger or smaller than what the pattern originally had. But I think at least it'll fit her for one season, whether that's this season or next season. And it's probably going to be this season. But yeah. And this is the one that I did my own mosaic pattern. This is also the Monday Junior sweater by Petite Knit. But I added just a mosaic flower pattern just for fun. But yeah, Nat's little sweater. And I think that's all. I think that's all I've really done. You know, I was really ambitious. And in the traveling that I've been doing back and forth from my sister's house, I brought a bunch of knitting projects with me, but I did not actually do a whole lot of knitting. Really, I just worked on Natalie's sweater and then the 2 baby sweaters. Again, they're all the same. It's all the Monday Junior pattern. But that's really all I've been doing, which is why I haven't felt like it made sense for me to do a YouTube video. I didn't really have a lot of like mental energy to think of topics outside of just what a podcast would be. I do at some point want to do like just a fun list of like knitting notions or supplies, whether I think they're essential, good, nice to have, or like absolute trash. I'm going to word those more delicately, hopefully, but I might do that coming soon as well. But I really don't have any like major video plans. I want to keep the podcast up at least once a month, and then I want to do at least one additional video that is not a podcast episode once a month. But I am going to start posting again regularly. If you followed me before and came back after a month of me not posting, I appreciate you. Shout out to everyone who is here and everyone who is yet to come. I really do enjoy YouTube and I'm really happy to be back. But I am going to log off now. In my absence, I have not gotten any better at outros. So take care. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. I shouldn't say her last name. That sounded dumb. No. Just, you can cut all this out. Wanted to give you a very brief update on is I don't think I want to talk about that. Young sir. Hey. Why are you barking? Is there somebody outside? It's a good thing you're cute. All right, anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yes, where have I been?